Hi everyone! I guess it's just me right now, but that's part of the experiment, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Mrs. Welcome to my channel. If you're watching this live, if someone actually sees this, that's cool. I'm just going to have my set on that I did a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be setting it up to get ready for a new set. So let's get into it. Flip this around and set up for my table. I have a very modest setup, so I apologize if this like starts shaking. It's attached to my table. And I hope the volume's okay. I think it's just me, so I can't really ask anybody to help me out. Let's make this tighter so we can see all my nails and come watch me work. All right, here we go. All right, so on this side I have just a gel polish in Bunny Bro from Young Nails, and on this side I did that fiber gel. If you know about Young Nails, then you've heard about fiber gel. I got the nude during the Black Friday. My retention this time is actually pretty darn good. I'm really happy with the shape, and it really held up. But I did brute force this one, just took it off, so that was fun. But I took a poll on my channel and on my Instagram for this glitter set, and everyone said to do a lovey-dovey. Well, almost everyone, like 80% said lovey-dovey for this glitter. So that's what I'm going to be prepping these nails for, and then doing a video for my Valentine's Day set. Yeah. So right now my setup is pretty modest. This I got off my cart. Don't ever buy anything full price. This I got like 30% off, and I feel like you can always find a coupon code even if there isn't a sale. So do not, that's my motto, I don't buy full price. This one I've been using for over a year and it works really good. I do feel like you have to turn up the RPMs higher than the higher quality ones. So if someone's using like a Kiara Sky or a Young Nails or another professional level e-file, then their RPMs are probably going to be like 1 or 2 lower than I would suggest if you're using the McCart Stephanie one. Okay, just get my bits out. I'm using this safety bit. I got it off Amazon. It's where I go for a lot of stuff, and if you're a nail enthusiast and not a pro, you know that's basically your options. You got a couple of them, but for the most part, Amazon is where you go to get stuff, because otherwise you wouldn't have anything. McCart's a good source too. It's pretty good, but you got to be careful because some stuff is like sketchy looking. Okay. So I'm gonna have it at about like 12 RPMs as I take this down. And this live is kind of cool because I can time myself to see how long this takes. It really depends. Sometimes I go really fast, sometimes not so much, but that's what being a beginner is all about. So you just gotta kind of have to go with it. So I do have it on forward, and I'm just kind of like testing it out to see how well it's taking stuff down. I'm just gonna bump it up to about 15. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. So I guess I'll keep chit-chatting because this will be posted after. I don't know if anyone will actually see it, but I just recently got 100 subscribers. So if you're one of those subscribers watching this video, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It's really awesome to see the response I'm getting after, you know, my first few videos. I love this shape. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's because it's like classic 50s vibe, you know, like Rita Hayworth, Marilyn Monroe, just like can't go wrong with a classic. So yeah, this thumb looks really awesome, which is really exciting. I've been doing this for just over a year, and it was only the last few months that I improved on my prep. And actually the first video, like getting it out there and rewatching myself back, has really helped improve on my retention. I am going to shorten these quite a bit. See, I have my natural nail length up there, except for, you know, this thumb that broke. Also, quick look. So straight here, right? Because we want them to look straight. But my middle finger is crooked. So when you do it like that, you can tell just how crooked my middle finger is compared to my other fingers. A little janky. But that is also the magic of nails. You can do what you need to make them all match. That's why I really love extensions and stuff like that. So yeah, you know what? Let's start by taking down the bulk, because then I can really work on the shape. And this is going slower for me than usual. This is how you can kind of tell your bits are going. But you know what? When you're on a budget, your bits last as long as they last. As long as you can make them last. Because I do not have it in my budget right now to be buying new bits. And it's so crazy how you get it down to a point for a certain length, but then bam, look how thick that is. Right there. That's called structure, ladies. It's the difference between them snapping when you hit stuff or not. So like I said, I just started over a year ago. And I'm doing it on a budget. My first set, I did it honestly because I wanted birthday nails. And there was no way I could just spend $50. And, you know, and then what, 2 weeks later, I have to take them off. It was so frustrating to think about. So I was like, you know what? There's a sale. I can get the full set for $80. And how many sets can I make off this $80? So that's where it all started. My very first kit was the Young Nails Ultimate Acrylic Pro Kit. And I've never looked back. I really loved just everything. I'm just now experimenting a little bit with gel because that's what my mama likes. So in order to help her out too, I looked into the Young Nails gel. And I'm not an ambassador or anything with Young Nails. It's just when you're first starting out, there's not a whole lot of pro level products available to beginners, and that's, I feel like, a huge problem. But I get it, they're like trying to be safe, but the more I do this, the more I realize just how much gatekeeping there is with information. and not necessarily information that's just useful to pros. Like I feel like everyone should know that acrylic nails and gel nails are both types of acrylic. And most people don't. Most people think like acrylic's super damaging and gel isn't. But the truth is the major damage part comes with the filing. And that's another thing. People think e-files are like super dangerous. And granted, they should be treated with a certain amount of respect when you're using them, because it is easy to make a mistake. But they're not dangerous. What's dangerous is being very flippant with it. Oh, dang it. Totally just messed that up. Oh well. I wanted to take down to the length of my other nails, and I didn't. But I can just put a form underneath this and build the length back up when it's time. So you want to use the whole bit. When you're near the edge, go toward the top. When you're doing the body, use the middle. And use the end at the end. Also help you get even wear on your bit too. Look at that. I got a little bit of lifting here on the sides, but it's really not too bad. Kind of impressed with myself. I feel like that's really important when you're first starting out. You're gonna have a lot of fails. So unless you're like super talented, I'm not saying you can't. Just, I've seen people take it and just run with it and never have a single problem, which is not me with anything I do. So I really have to work at stuff. But, so how I stay motivated and keep me going is I just pick one thing I like. Like, there's always going to be something I don't like. I'm always going to be looking for the flaws. So I'm just going to keep picking the things I do like and build off that. For this set, I really like the shape. I like that I'm only losing one nail, and it took brute force to eliminate it. And look how nice my nails are growing underneath. Granted, they need to be cleaned up, but still pretty good. And this video is just about taking down product and getting ready for the next step. Otherwise, this live would be like 4 hours long and take me forever to upload. And I feel like it's better to just break it down in segments. But this is a nice like chance, step out my comfort zone. Honestly, I debated on doing it here or on Twitch. Guys, I'm more familiar with Twitch, but I feel like it's more for gaming than streaming, but I don't know. If you see this video and you disagree, let me know. See, I'm still getting like overlap, you see that? Because I'm not great with forms yet, but I feel like it saves a lot of money to use forms instead of rebuying tips every time. But when you're doing nails on yourself, tips are so much easier. One second, I'm just checking my computer to make sure everything's going okay. Let's see what's going on. Awesome. at that. There's a video. Oh, gotta mute it. So, wow. So on my first video, there was a lady, I think her name was Judy, that commented to just really pay attention to the liquid and powder ratio at the cuticle area. I feel like if it's too wet, it's not going to adhere properly. And I feel like that worked a lot. It's still a wetter bead than if you're building out the free edge, but you can't go too wet, if that makes sense. So for those of you watching the video later, put in the comments down below if you have any like video ideas that you would like me to do, or just questions in general you have. Like if you want to talk about the difference between gel and acrylic, or the difference between HEMA monomers, like HEMA monomers, and non-HEMA monomers. And yeah, I feel like there's just so much information, it's hard to categorize. I am a trial by fire type person, so the first thing I did, I literally just bought the kit and went for it. I watched a few videos and then just decided I'm gonna give this a shot. So I turned this off and put it on reverse, and it's still at 15, but I like to just mirror it, and then it's easier to anchor my hand. I just feel like it goes easier. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe, you know, a few months from now, I'll look at this video and go, holy crap, what was I doing? Like, probably, I mean, it's already happened a few times, so be like, oh gosh, I can't believe I did that. If you want to look at my first set, you can go to my community page, and I posted that. They were birthday nails, and I used the cover in blush. That's why I recommend sets like Young Nails. It's normally $100 some odd. I think it's like $109 and some change. But if you get them on, like at Black Friday, they were 30% off. And they even texted out a code for an extra 5% off. And the reason why I ended up getting Young Nails over like Profiles Backstage or another higher end brand was because they included the brush with their kits. And it's like duh, I'm just doing this. Like, I don't know what brush to get. Come on, man, help me out. So Young Nails is like literally one-stop shop. They gave you a tiny dampening dish, they gave you the acrylic, they gave you some of the slick pours, like white and like a pink-ish, like a rose gold. And so you can, I made so many different ones. And if you just use the nude, then you just cover with what other color you like. But we'll say, when you're beginning and you're putting nails on yourself, glitter acrylics are your best friend. Like micro acrylics, like cover acrylics, like blush. Because it hides so many flaws. And you can go around with a really cute set, and nobody will be able to see those flaws except you. I don't know about you, but I hyperfixate on things. So if I can pretend it doesn't exist, that would be ideal. I don't think a natural nail has ever been this long. That's another thing, another beauty industry lie that having extensions or anything over your natural nail is damaging to the natural nail and you will not be able to grow with acrylics. And I just don't understand how people believe that. It was the first, you know, training. It was the first thing people ever used to protect their natural nail. It's just, you know, acrylics don't hurt people, texts do. That's not necessarily their fault if they're beginning and stuff. Because somebody's first step is to go into school. And some of these schools, like, they teach you out of a book. You get very little practice time, and then you go take your exam. So for some people, I have more practice than they do. And it takes a willingness to learn and like a personal drive to expand that knowledge. And if you settle for good enough, then you may never be great. Never go past beginner. It's kind of fun talking to myself. I should do this more often. I feel like as I talk, it clears up my thoughts, organizes my thoughts. It'd be nice if there was one other person to chit chat with, but the main purpose of this video is to introduce people to me and to just get out of my comfort zone. Those look hella chunky. Isn't it crazy how, like, you look at it like this, you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Nice. Super cute. And then you take the length off and it completely changes the look of the nail. Like, that is bouquet. Yeesh. I just want to reiterate how dull this is and how it is extending the time. Like, if you want to do something in a certain amount of time, make sure, especially with acrylic, you can get away with this with gel. It's easier to file down. But with acrylic, you cannot do this with dull bits. So when you're looking, what I do is if I have to order off Amazon, if I can't afford what's available through a brand I know, which I don't know a lot, it's basically Young Nails right now. But if you can't order through a professional brand and you have to order off Amazon, what I do is just imitate the description, like safety carbide with the measurements, so that I know that I'm buying what I should be buying. And even if they're not as high quality, they're still in the same realm. Like, this one probably goes dull faster than a professional one. Or, actually, I don't even know if that's true, because I've never bought a professional bit. But, maybe. I hope there's a reason for the price difference. Higher quality and doesn't wear down as fast. But maybe there's not. Oh, and I don't have my clippers. Those broke. Probably because I got them off Amazon. But so those big nail safety ones. This is just so hard on my left hand. Ugh, especially if it's already broken. Anyone else get hand cramps? So I'm changing up my grip a little and just I know this is not official, but it's a wrist saver, and I only need it because I'm working on myself, so shh, we won't tell anyone. Yeesh. That feels so weird because this nail is like practically off by itself. See? Dun, dun. Not great. But I'm still happy it took brute force to make that happen. My first set just, I don't even know why things started coming off. I'm sure it was liquid to powder ratio and improper prep. Because like I said, trial by fire. But it also made my progress a lot more measurable, if not a tad bit devastating. So when you do file lifting, if you don't already know, you're supposed to file in front of the lifted section. So if you'll see like really close, this whole thing is lifted, but when it's thin like that, you can see how light it is. So then you would just file in front until it got thin, and it really does just kind of like pop off on its own. But I am trying to take this whole freaking thing off. And I might have to end up soaking this finger if I can't find where it's still attached. I don't soak my nails off often because the acetone is really drying, and that's another thing I feel like people don't talk about is if you're getting a gel manicure even and you're getting it, you know, soaked off every time they change the color, that's not good. That's what's drying out your nail beds. That's why your nails are unhealthy. It wasn't the acrylic. And a lot of shops too with acrylic, they want you to do like a full set once a month. Why? You can just buff it down and put acrylic over it. Unless there's like a lot of lifting, and it would be faster to just soak it off. But most of them, like, they don't even look. They just clip, start soaking off. Even when you want to change the shape, you can cut it from this end. You file it down, cut it from this free edge, and rebuild off the end with a form. You don't have to take anything off. So then why is soaking so common? I mean, I guess, like, for me, the only reason I can see is you like the vibe, which, if that's the case, you do you, boo. I mean, I can't fault you for that. Another interesting feature, YouTube limits the amount of people that can be watching this, which I find interesting. I wonder if there's like a new reason for that. Okay, so that's another thing too, is I might just, even if it's only attached in a certain section, I might just save that section if I can. And now the hand cramps come. 30 minutes in, right on time. Hello to whoever. just joined, thank you for watching me take my nails off. Been chit-chatting a while. This is my damaged nail. So we're gonna try and find where it's still attached and hopefully take it off without having to soak the whole thing off. But I took it down to the natural length underneath at least. Gotta be careful because I don't want a heat spike. That would hurt so bad. So I chose this time in the day because this is my quiet time. I'm actually a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool, so my son is taking his break playing Fortnite and I get some me time. And I suggest to all the ladies out there that are trying to start something and still have kids at home, once they're too old for a nap, they're old enough for quiet time. And you take that because self-care is important. I don't know. I'm going to take a break on that one. So we're going to move on to the pinky. Because, oh my gosh, look how long my natural nails are underneath. Sheesh. Let's move this out of the way. This is taking so long. I just need to find the budget for tips, right? Like, or bits, I mean. Because, holy crap. This is taking so much longer than it should. And it's just so much harder on the left hand. Oof. Okay. Back to my weird hand, unofficial hand method. Trademark pending. Actually, I would not suggest this. It's so wonky. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. I also don't have a dust collector. That's another thing that's crazy expensive, but also important. If it's in your budget, your first major investment should be a dust collector and an e-file because you gotta protect your longevity. Protect your lungs. Wear a mask. She said, as she wasn't wearing a mask, but oh my gosh, it is important. So in the meantime, I don't have a dust collector, but I do have this. I got off Amazon. It's a little vacuum. Works pretty good. And I put a towel down too because I feel like it collects and then you just wash the towel and get rid of the debris that way. Oh my gosh. The pinky is the hardest because, oh my good gracious, it's so weak. You need to support it with both hands to get it. Anybody else experience that? Also, I feel like the nails on my right hand turn out better purely because I can hold my hand in place by itself while I'm working. So even though I'm right hand dominant, these nails turn out better for some reason. In my head, I feel like that should be reversed. Goodness. Look how thick that one is. See, this is my problem finger. When it comes to laying the acrylic, I just can't. See how like it's off on the sides there? And it just looks off center. And yeah, I don't know what it is about this finger. Maybe because I can't like look at it as square as the other ones, or I don't know. If you have a tip, let me know. Put it in the comments down below. But my lifting is minimal this time, which I cannot tell you how freaking awesome that is. Like, I don't know what you're struggling with, but for me it's always lifting. And another little PSA, if you do have a lot of problems right off the bat, don't feel like you don't have skill, and maybe your nails. I'm actually feeling kind of blessed that my nails are so difficult, because it allowed me to workshop a lot of issues that I would not have come across otherwise, because I'm just working on myself right now. And I am not licensed because, you know, homeschool, all that. Gotta wait for the kiddos to get older. But, so don't feel bad if you have a lot of trouble. In fact, maybe you should feel blessed that you have so many troubleshooting opportunities. So by the time you hit school, you're like, I got this. Don't you worry. I live with that problem. So I am just gonna focus on like acrylic and stuff this time. I'll do a quick prep in my video before I get started on the new set, but this is all about taking down bulk, seeing where everything is at, so that when it comes to the new video, I can move a little faster. And this is the longest part of the process for me. I don't know about anyone else, but I still apply it too bulky, you know? A year in, and I feel like some are good and some are like, what the heck was I thinking? And again, this finger is always the bulkiest. But I am cutting them back a lot, so they don't need to be anywhere near as thick as they were. I'm not trying to do like double XOs. Hello! Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. My OG subscriber. You can say you were here at the start. So, thank you, thank you. And now we're getting to, not this last time, but the time before last. You see that glitter? Yeah. Because you do not need to take it down. You do not need to soak it off. You can make it real thin and just cover it right up. It does not, you do not have to put your natural nail in harm's way every single time you want acrylic. It just doesn't work like that. And for people that are like me and have to do this during the day or in the middle of something and they just don't have the time, take down your bulk first, cut it down, and then come back when you're ready. And I know that's like, I need to take my own advice when it comes to that, because I'll literally sit down 6 hours later, I have a full set, but nothing else is done, and that's a problem. Just ask my husband. But goodness. And again, for those just joining, I'm working with an old bit, which I don't suggest you do, but if you're on a budget and don't have a choice, it is what it is. So it's taking me a lot longer than it should. So here's how you know. You have to press real hard like this, and you hear that like grating sound. It's because it's dull. I have it at 15 RPM, so it's not a speed issue. But if you don't have money, but you got time, you're still in good shape. You can still do nails. That one is almost completely off. I just need to find the point where it's still attached. So I'm basically using the same technique as lifting and filing where it's attached to kind of get it all off. I broke this one. It was a problem. And I'm trying not to tear because I have really brittle, flaky nails. So just as gratifying as it would be to just rip it off, I really shouldn't. Maybe I should. If you haven't caught on by now, I'm terrible at taking my own advice. I am super awesome at giving advice and have perfect 2020 hindsight vision. So for all my people out there with neurodivergent brains, you know what I'm saying? How is this still on? Like, look at this. Let's pause this for a second. It's lifting here, right? It's lifting here. Can I flake some of this off? Can you hear my son talking in the background? Yeah. He's 8 years old and he's a sweat, so whatever that means, you know, if you're into gaming, you know what that means. He's not a sweat. Okay, so I feel like it's only attached at the very, very tip, which I don't even know how that happens. Because I literally hit it like this, like on the top. So if it's popping anywhere, it should be on the tip. But I'm going to do my best to protect my natural nail as much as possible and just try and be patient and take this down. And maybe switch back and forth between the other nails to take down the bulk. Because I hate monotony. And I have trouble with focus. So this was an ombre nail. And now the ombre is like out to here. Because that was like 3 or 4 sets ago. So do not feel like you have to soak off your nails. Whether it's gel or acrylic, you do not need to soak it off unless there are adhesion issues. If it's not sticking, then it's best to soak off and start over. But so many people just soak off. I thought, before I started doing my own nails, I thought that's how it was. You couldn't you needed a full set every month. That's just the way it was. But that's such a bold-faced lie. And with a lot of those shops, it's because a fill will take more time, but they can't exactly charge for that. Whereas if you go to an independent nail tech, it's pretty common for them to charge extra for a fill unless you've been taking really great care or they're really, really skilled, because a fill is more time. So that's weird, man. And I personally don't get it. I mean, I kind of get it. Their first priority is to make money, which, I can't blame them for it. But I just don't want to be like that. I want my clients to know about their nails, not just come to me to make them look pretty, which I absolutely will do, but I don't want to manipulate them. I feel like a lot of what I hear it's just product manipulation, like canned sales pitch stuff, and that just doesn't seem right to me. Like, I should not have to want to do my own nails from home and be working for over a year before I find out gel and acrylics are pretty much the same thing. The only difference is how they harden. And I'm like, what? Then why does everybody say acrylic is bad for you and gel is so much healthier? Because they want to make money. And really, it's just about the tech. The tech will protect your hands, or the tech will hurt them. Nobody wants to have a conversation about allergies. I just want the money. Which, don't get me wrong, I want to make money too, but I want to do it the right way, you know? Alright, I'm going to switch back over to this right hand. So I'm flipping it back to forward and switching this back over. It's kind of crazy how a year ago I couldn't even imagine doing all of this, and now I do it twice a month to myself, and then, you know, about once a month I do gel on my mama. It's just crazy to think about. I wonder where I'll be a year from now. Hopefully a lot farther, because I got this practice hand from Young Nails. Still got some test fingers out from Christmas time, which is great. It's not super trashy at all. But again, go shop the sales. If you're on a budget and you're not licensed, so you can't get any kind of special deals, check out for the sales. If you're interested in Young Nails, they do really, really huge sales, like 4 times a year. And then they have little ones when they like launch new stuff or something. They'll have little ones that you can still get what you need on there. But that's how I have what I have, which I'm not mad at. But I do feel like I need more, a broader selection. I need to really get familiar with other brands other than Young Nails. Young Nails is just available to me now, so I'm kind of waiting until I can get licensed to truly invest. Though I have recently started doing nail school through Nail Hub, which is really, really awesome. I've learned, if you're interested at all and you're a DIYer, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. If you're a DIYer or you're a professional, I feel like she'll teach you something you didn't know yet. And she really gets into the chemistry of all of it. So if you're interested at all in learning for yourself what's what, her membership on YouTube is $10 a day, and you, at the end of the school, you get access to Light Elegance, which is a pro-only gel company, which is like unheard of, you know? Being able to get what the pros can get is really hard unless they're just not a pro-only company. Like Young Nails is available to everybody. And I just really don't feel like you need to like gatekeep information to keep people interested, or to feel like you can make money off of it. If you build the skill and you build the craft, I don't think you have anything to worry about, ever. Now, if you're only in it for the money, then you might have something to worry about. This nail. So I'm going to go in reverse and see what happens. So I'm still on forward, working on my non-dominant hand, and I'm just going to see if this comes off at all. I don't know if I can save this nail, like, at all. Because it's just so clumsy. So I might just rip it off. After all that work. I just can't seem to find Oh, there it is. And I chipped a little bit off. It looks rather rough. This is, you can see, I peel really easily, so that's why when things happen like that, I try, but anyway, that is it. I am pretty much set. So I'll start my next video off by really going in and taking that lifting out. I think there's some lifting right here in this corner here. And just really clean it up, push the cuticles back, all that jazz. That's how I'll start my next video. So, thank you so much for joining my first live. I'm hoping to do this again soon at some point. Don't know when. Things are kind of hectic right now. But it was a fun little experiment and I like it. I think I'll do it again. So I'm Mrs. Trying to Nail It. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe. And at me or Instagram, show me your practice. I would love to see where everyone else is in their journey. Thank you so much. Bye.